We have some breaking news about the 21-year-old man that tried to kill former President Donald Trump at a rally on Sunday. We have a lot of new updates, but to begin, Trump shooter told boss he needed day off before assassination attempt. Former President Trump's would-be assassin would have been at work on Saturday, but he told his boss that he needed a day off because he, quote, had something to do, according to reports. Crooks listed himself as unemployed in 2020, but he worked most recently as a dietary aide at Bethel Park Skilled Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, a state-licensed transitional facility. The center's administrator, Marcy Grimm, said in a Sunday statement that Crooks, quote, performed his job without concern and his background check was clean. Crooks' newer model phone and gray 12-button remote transmitter were recovered from beside his body after he was shot, according to photos obtained by WPXI. The transmitter is believed to have been connected to an explosive device in Crooks' car. Investigators suggested in an interview with the New York Post that he may have planned to stage a distraction during the shooting. We then learned that Thomas Matthew Crooks likely scouted the Butler Farm rally site and planned his attack extensively before attacking a Trump rally on Saturday. Quote, it's clear now the gunman did have an advance of the target before the event, said Bill Gage, who is now a consultant at Safe Haven Security Group. Bremer, Oswald, and Hinckley, they all scouted before, he added, referring to men who have attacked Presidents Richard Nixon, Kennedy, and Reagan. Crooks, 20, was carrying a range finder and behaving suspiciously when he showed up, quote, in or just outside the venue Saturday before former President Donald Trump took the stage, according to law enforcement sources. Quote, he knew that there were elevated positions there, for example, those buildings off in the distance, and that he would need a ladder to access them, Gage told Fox News Digital. It is being reported that he didn't use it, but the purchase indicates to me that there was some advanced planning involved. Crooks knew he'd need a rifle, not a handgun, he said. The killer packed explosive materials into his vehicle. He also brought body armor, which he didn't wear when he climbed the roof, a choice likely aimed at avoiding detection, Gage said. Crooks didn't use the ladder. He climbed up on an air conditioning unit to get onto the roof, ABC News reported earlier. But buying a ladder is very telling, he added. Sometimes between the announcement of the event and Trump taking the stage, he scouted out the location and decided that a rooftop attack with a rifle was the best plan. And I've been to a lot of these MAGA events. As you guys know, Donald Trump only announces them about 1 or 2 weeks in advance. So the Secret Service didn't have much time to scout out all the potential locations, even though that is their responsibility. And Thomas Crooks had more than enough time for one person to figure out what he needs to do, what he needs to get. The Butler Township manager, Thomas Knights, then defended local police officers' response to the assassination attempt against former President Trump at his rally. Knights' comments come amid some sparring between the U.S. Secret Service and the Fraternal Order of Police, as both federal and local law enforcement take criticism from the public for being unable to stop the would-be Trump assassin. Knights said, I think there's some misconception about the overall response. I can only speak for our officers transitioning from what was supposed to be a primary traffic control assistance to where it became a suspicious person, the township manager who supervises all Butler department heads told Fox News. So what he's claiming is that the local law enforcement was only put in charge of traffic and nothing beyond that. It seems like there is some sparring between the Secret Service and local law enforcement officers because they're trying to figure out who exactly was supposed to have this building on lock and have that area on lock. The police told Secret Service it lacked the manpower to watch the building used by Trump supporter. Local police reportedly told the U.S. Secret Service that it lacked the manpower to monitor the building. Per reported from the Washington Post, Richard Goldinger said the Secret Service had been informed that local police did not have the manpower to assist with securing that building. The building, owned by AGR International, was located just outside the perimeter of the rally, approximately 150 yards from where Trump was speaking. We then learned that a local police sniper had engaged the gunman before he nearly assassinated Trump. The Butler County PA District Attorney said local police engaged with the man mere moments before he opened fire and nearly assassinated former President Trump at a rally. Richard Goldinger, the DA, confirmed with Fox News that a local police sniper engaged the gunman but did not fire a shot to kill the would-be assassin. Goldinger said he did not know if the sniper injured the gunman or not. The officer is now on administrative leave, Goldinger added, which is standard protocol during an officer-involved shooting. We also learned that the Department of Homeland Security has now opened a second investigation into the Secret Service for its handling of security. The Office of Inspector General Joseph V. Kafari, who was appointed as the Inspector General by former President Trump in 2019, opened the investigation. We also learned that the snipers seen on this roof were not the snipers that actually took out the gunman. So the snipers in this viral photo did not actually end the threat. And of course, lawmakers on the House Judiciary Committee will meet next week to discuss the FBI's investigation into the assassination attempt on Trump and the ongoing politicization of the law enforcement agency. Of course, Republicans will immediately try to turn this political. I was just talking to a Republican friend earlier. He was already trying to blame the Democrats' rhetoric, which is just totally backwards. Donald Trump is the one who's created this heightened atmosphere in American politics for almost a decade. Federal source speaks on security failures leading the Trump assassination attempt. A federal official tells Fox News that multiple agencies were involved in security. The local agencies include the Butler Township Police, the Butler County Sheriff's Office, and Butler Emergency Services Unit. The federal source told Fox News that the U.S. Secret Service was responsible for everything going on inside the rally, while local authorities were responsible for everything outside of the secure area. And that's usually how it works. There are usually 3 layers of security. The Secret Service, which you saw rush on stage when Trump was shot at, the local law enforcement agencies, which are responsible for the perimeter, everything outside that area, and then the third layer, which are snipers who are on extremely long range. They're looking long range for people to take out. Federal source says the AGR building where Thomas Matthew Crooks fired from is considered the exterior or outside of the secure area. A federal law enforcement source affirmed a recent Facebook post from Butler County Commissioner Edward Natale, who claimed Butler Township Police were only in charge of traffic. So yeah, there is a lot of finger pointing going on right now. Iconic Secret Service sniper team photo doesn't show agents who took down would-be assassin. And finally, would-be Trump assassin ID'd as suspicious over an hour before shooting. The gunman who attempted to assassinate Trump was identified as suspicious by law enforcement more than an hour before he opened fire. He, quote, he was identified as a character of suspicion because he had a rangefinder as well as a backpack. So this was over an hour before the shooting actually occurred, Barrasso said. So you would think over the course of that hour, you wouldn't lose sight of the individual. Somebody ought to be following up on those sorts of things. No evidence of that happening at all. Fox News was told the Secret Service was aware of the threat before Trump walked on stage and narrowly survived an assassination attempt. A Secret Service agent in charge of security for the event was on the phone with local and state police about the threat while the shooting took place. Barrasso said there was no talk of reports that local officers engaged with the shooter before he opened fire. Quote, they shut it after just a couple of questions and didn't get to the meat of the matter. Barrasso called for the U.S. Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle to resign. Quote, the American people shouldn't feel comfortable with this, Barrasso said. Quote, this is a total failure on behalf of Secret Service. We need replacement at the top. And there's one more detail that is interesting. The parents of the gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, reported him missing just hours before that event. And people don't know, had he been missing for days? Had he been missing only that morning, but the parents noticed that the rifle was gone, so they called in and said he might have killed himself? There are so many ways we can speculate, but I think we should just let the investigation unfold rather than jumping to conspiracy theories. All of the MAGA people I've talked to have been jumping to conspiracy theories, and we want to be better than that. We want to wait for the facts to come out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. My name is Mockler. I'll be doing live streams all week and doing live breaking news. Most importantly, make sure you have a great day yourself.